everyone, and welcome to another exciting installment with a slight technical problem at the beginning there of TED Excellence, the show in which I find out how women really work. And I come to you live from my Corona bunker on the moon with Dog Cat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Thursday. Terrifying Thursday. Yes, we return once again to the wonderful world of off-brand TED Talks for education and enlightenment. I call it enlightenment. Hope you're all doing well this evening. Yes, it is our fourth and last entry into Superpowers Month, as we're about to find out how your menstrual cycle is your superpower. Oh boy. But before I get there, who's joining me this evening for this radical revelation of what it means to be superpowered once a month? Noah Asensio, hello. Derek LaRue, hello. Brittany Holland, hello. Mike R, hello. Chicago Mike, hello. Miranda Stone, hello. Jamie Melquist, hello. Geeverdam, hello. Swirl Blue, hello. Let's see, who else is here? Jaeger Pony, hello. Shell D, hello. Jonathan Peterson, hello. Resolute Germ, hello. Who's that? Oh, and then chat jumped because of course it did. The great Funkasaur Rex, the funkiest dinosaur on Pangea. Hello. Boy, it's starting to turn into like the old ads days here. Bridget, hello. Random American, hello. Let's see, who else is here? John Gamesman, hello. And I think that's everybody I see. And thank you, Derek LaRue, as always, for your continued support. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Appreciate it very much, as always. Let's see. Angelverse, hello. And is there anybody else that I missed? I don't think so. If I did, if you're in the future, if you're lurking, hello. Pissed Off Shih Tzu, hello. But yes, tonight, the last entry into Superpowers Month, my first attempt at a theme month, because TEDx made it easy with its quite often instances of people calling their presentations superpowers of some kind or another. And yes, tonight is your menstrual cycle is your superpower. It seems appropriate to end off the month with that time of the month. Now, as a preamble, full disclosure, I am not female. Now, I know we've been having some conversations the last year or two about what is a woman, but I certainly am not. And so I have absolutely no idea what it actually means to have a period or go through menstrual cycle. But I do know some women, and on a regular basis, I've had some women in my life over the course of my life describe to me their experiences in going through their menstrual cycle. And here's the thing. Every time I hear about it from someone, it's always a different story. Like no two periods seem to be alike, which is I can only conclude then that they're making it up, that it's all just one big fairy tale. There's no consistency. It's like, two people who witness a crime sitting there in an interrogation room and reciting what they said, and they completely contradict each other. Well, it can't be true. It just can't be true. So hopefully tonight, our speaker will educate me and all other know-nothing men on what it means to have your period and gain powers from it. Thank you, Keeverdam. Also, be sure to talk enough. Yes, well, there's that too. Yes, we learned the lesson not last week, but the week before. Yes, if I don't pause the video often enough, YouTube will spike the stream. Now, I kind of already knew that, and I did mention that on that stream with the convincer. That was the powers of a con man. But still, somehow, I just let it go on too long. So yes, I have a feeling, however, that our speaker and this subject will keep me talking plenty. Also, if you'll direct your attention to the top of the chat box, there are some links there helpfully provided by Keeverdam with fundraiser links to our friends Moonshock and Angry Illinoisian. They both have experienced some health issues, some medical issues that are impacting them and their families. And if you have a couple of bucks to spare, please think about donating there. And if you can't donate, which perfectly fine, but if you could at least share those links out on your social media, that too would be appreciated. if my vocabulary will catch up with my brain right now. A couple more hellos, and then we'll get right into it. Let's see who else is here. Ryan R., if I didn't already say hello. Roger Reynolds, hello. Rerum Trading, hello. Tall Person, hello. And I hope, fingers crossed, I haven't missed anybody, but if I catch you later, I will say hello. Okay, bingo card tonight is bingo card B. B is in B, with 2 E's at the end. Sure, that works. Links to those are in the description, so get your bingo card ready. This talk runs 17 minutes. Holy cow, that's a long time. We better get started. Now, one note, the original recording of this talk, the sound quality was very, very, very quiet. And so I have boosted the audio literally as much as my editing software would allow. I had to pump this thing up by 12 decibels. And you think that's a lot, and it is a lot under any other circumstances, but man, this sucker was recorded at a whisper. So it's now audible, but it's still not loud, which is going to be interesting. But anyway, that being said, I'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear it, and then we will proceed.
All right.
That's enough. What the? Really? You cut it out? We're 4 seconds in, and I'm already laughing. That's great. Okay. Sure.
I'm willing to bet that either you or someone you know,
yeah,
someone you love,
yeah,
goes through a monthly menstrual cycle.
Well, I know everyone has at least one person in their life or connected to their life that did. It's called their mother. But anyway, thank you, Chicago Mike. You had to go higher than 11. I did. I, in fact, did need to go higher than 11 to get the most sound out of this as I possibly could. Yeah, Spinal Tap has no cornered the market. No cornered the market? What the heck was that? How about, let's try that again. Spinal Tap has no monopoly on 11. There we go. Brain work. What is wrong with me today? It must be the TEDx.
That's right.
Yeah.
Today I'm talking about periods.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel when you see that word?
Well, depending on the context, it either makes me think of what you're talking about, or it harkens back to my days of learning how to spell.
How do you feel when you see this image? Do you feel like a little uncomfortable?
Yeah. The implication of bleeding out of your bodily orifices, whether it's natural or otherwise, is a little, disconcerting.
Do you feel like maybe this is not something that should be discussed in public?
No, not that it shouldn't be discussed in public. No, I guess it depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about like in a sort of scientific or health science kind of way? Or are you talking about somebody doing some performance art by shooting eggs of paint out of themselves onto a canvas in front of everyone? Because I've seen that before, unfortunately.
Let alone in the TEDx stage?
Yeah.
Or maybe you're like, I love periods.
Well, you're wearing your period pants. See, I know about period pants. I've been told several times about period pants. Like these are my old flannel Winnie the Pooh jammy pants that I wear during that time of the month, something like that. I hear many women maintain a pair of period pants. Also, I have to point out that she's standing on a red spot. Now, if she doesn't point that out, I've already done it for you.
No. Well, what if I told you that by the end of this talk, you will be able to talk about your periods more freely?
Yeah.
You will realize that your period and your menstrual cycle carry this innate guidance that can help you to live to your full potential.
Wow. Now that is a guarantee I can't wait to hear. And by the way, as I said before, I'm not a woman. I don't know what it is to have a period or deal with a period. So ladies in the chat, ladies in the audience, as we proceed, if you have insight or commentary on her citations and or revelations over the course of this, by all means, share them. And if I miss them in the chat when you first say them, please hold on to them for bingo time when I'm paying far more attention to the chat as I should, because I'd love to hear those. And of course, if you're listening to this in the future and have something to add, by all means, leave a comment.
And if you ever wondered, why is it that we know so little about periods? Well, let's take a trip back to school days.
I bet it was sexism. Before I continue, Fam 2 cents or Satsu 2 cents, Chef 2 cents is in the chat. Yes, Satsu, my compatriot from the Lords of the Night, boy oh boy, talk show from a couple of years ago now. Yes, and he's getting his new business up and running. And if he's, did I not give you a wrench? I need to give you a wrench, oh Satsu, and then you can give everybody the. Let's see, there we go. Is that how that works now? All right, so you should have a wrench now, Satsu, and if you want to give people the link to your business startup and all that good stuff. Satsu's got I don't want to undersell it. It's a flour with spices mixed into it that you use when you're making your chicken. I'm describing it poorly. He can do it a lot better. And he's getting that all squared away and set up so we can start producing that and shipping that out, which is great. And so if you have an opportunity, and Satsu puts the link in there, you guys can go check out his website. Yes, okay, you got your wrench. All right. So yes, hey Satsu, hope you're doing well. Everybody say hi to Satsu if you have a second. And all right, anyway, let's continue.
In school, I learned all sorts of great subjects. Geometry, trigonometry. I even learned to recite a periodic table.
A periodic table? All right, well, that sounds like a childhood or family anecdote, at least slightly, in talking about her school days. So circling childhood or family anecdote, let's also go over the bingo card one time to remind ourselves what we are keeping our ears open for. Anecdote that probably never happened, self-vilification or wretchedness, systemic or institutional, weightless example, word salad, leaves out vital context, collectivizes own demographic. I think that'll be an easy one. White supremacy, a list, and remember that has to be a formal list or like a slide with a 1, 2, 3 on it or something. Privilege, sales pitch for product or service, plays victim, attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase, wage gap, patriarchy, maybe, feminism, I'd be amazed if we didn't. Mind reading or assumes motives, diversity, equity, and or inclusion, marginalized or marginalization, argumentative non sequitur, contradicts own point or argument, benevolent condescension, and lastly, microaggressions or unconscious bias. So far on the board, I have childhood or family anecdote, and I circled free space. And remember, this is bingo card B. And so here we go.
You know what I didn't learn?
What?
How my female body works and what it goes through on a monthly basis. Not even in sex ed. In fact, the most memorable thing from sex ed involved banana and a condom.
Well, I mean, if you say so. I don't know what else I'll say. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for the happy, dancy dog cat fox. Oh, a dog cat fox.
Wowie, wow, wow.
There's a Weibo Dogcat Fox for you. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. And I saw you on Script Doctor's stream earlier today. If you guys don't know about Script Doctor, well, look up Script Doctor on YouTube. Go check out his stuff.
And for those of you that felt a little uncomfortable when I brought up that picture and that word, there's a reason for that. Okay. I want to take you down history lane.
History lane.
Throughout history, period has been masked in magic and mystery.
Masked in magic and mystery, if you say so.
In some ancient cultures, it was believed that menstrual cycle and menstrual blood had magical powers.
Yes, well, a lot of people believed a lot of weird things back in the past.
And menstruators had the ability to see the future.
Uh-huh.
Things have changed in the Middle Ages when a massive religious and cultural shift has occurred. Menstruators were no longer admired.
Probably because they weren't magical, or why?
Periods were considered dirty, menstruators dangerous, and period blood toxic enough, and it was believed that it could make crops wither, make men impotent, and cause natural disasters.
Well, the make men impotent part, I guess it all depends on how you look at it, but okay, so back in the distant past, people believed things that had no basis in fact. Wow. Yeah, and things have changed so much over the centuries.
Well, we've come a long way since then.
Have we, though? Have we, though? Aren't you about to tell us that the menstrual cycle bestows some kind of guidelines, guidance, superpowers on somebody?
Yet this long-held cultural ignorance around our periods resulted in many of us starting our menstrual journey in the dark, not sure what's normal, what's not.
Well, okay, again, this is me speaking as a completely ignorant man. Save for the mechanical aspects of the menstrual cycle, the symptoms and effects of it on each individual woman can vary wildly, as far as I know. So I think the actual what is happening part of it is fairly well understood, but how the hormones hit you and what happens to your mood or your cravings or whatever, I think that's relatively unique to each person, isn't it?
I've had quite the journey with my period. Today, as Ibom said, I am in love with my period.
Well, why don't you marry it then?
And it's not something that you hear very often. Yet my love story hasn't been so rosy.
Rosy. I see what you did there, and I appreciate it. Let's see how many more she gets in over the course of the presentation.
I want to take you back to 10 years ago.
Okay.
I was in my early 20s. On this particular day in September,
yes,
I woke up in so much pain.
Yes.
I thought my appendix has burst.
Wow.
And I thought I needed immediate medical attention.
Uh-huh.
So I called an ambulance.
Wow.
Medics arrived to my house.
Yep.
I was inspected and told that my appendix was intact. There was no medical emergency. And what I was experiencing caused by my period cramps.
Oh, okay. So I'm assuming that this was just sort of not usual for your period. Okay. Superpower?
So I was advised to take some painkillers and sleep it off.
Yeah.
And for years, I've been sleeping off my pain. Often missing school, work, and social commitments.
And let me guess. There was something else you could have done if only you'd asked for a second opinion.
And I know I was not alone. Because according to the online survey done by YouGov, 30% of women have taken time off because of their periods.
Yes. Did they all call ambulances thinking their chests were about to explode? 30%, huh? Why not 100%? What? Okay, and?
I'd like to highlight the difference between the menstrual cycle and the periods.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get to that momentarily. First, thank you, Satsu 2 cents. People used to believe crazy things about periods. Silly, right? Now let me explain to you how your period makes you a superhero. Exactly. Back in the olden days, they thought it gave you magical powers. Then they thought it was dirty. I want to bring back the magical powers part. I guess. I can't wait to get to the point where she tells us how this all becomes, quote unquote, a superpower. It's going to be great. Also, did you know that less than 40% of women have taken time off because of periods? So 30% of women report they've taken time off because of periods. Okay. So it's not endemic to having a period that you end up in a situation where you are disabled enough or debilitated enough to go and live your life. Okay.
So the menstrual cycle is the entire hormonal fluctuation throughout a female reproductive system while the body prepares for possible pregnancy. The average length of a menstrual cycle is about 28 days.
Yes.
The bleeding part, what we know as period,
yes,
only lasts 5 days and marks the start of the period.
Yes.
So
we understand the overall mechanics of what the menstrual cycle and then within that the period is. Those are the mechanisms. Right. Okay. Let's talk about the wide range of symptoms or effects of that depending on who you are.
Your period is not your menstrual cycle.
Right.
But rather just a small part of it.
Yes, so what?
And according to Catherine Woolley, who is a professor at Northwestern University, female brain changes by up to 25%, meaning our appetite changes, our mood changes, our desire to be social, our desire to be alone. And I'm sure you've noticed those changes.
Yeah, I have heard similar things or variants thereof reported from the people within my own life, some to more distressing degrees than others. It varies quite a bit. Wait a second, are you saying there's a female brain? Wait a second. You don't know. You have no idea what kind of controversy you just stepped into by saying that there is a female brain. Are you assuming that brain's gender? Did you assign that brain's gender at period?
You know, the coolest thing I wasn't taught about my period and my menstrual cycle is that throughout month, it goes through this incredible phases, mimicking the seasons of nature.
Oh. So in the first part, you're frigid, and then you're fruitful, and then you're really hot, and then you kind of cool off. Is that it?
I also have my inner winter,
my
inner spring,
my inner
summer, and my inner fall.
Please go on. I want to know, what does your inner winter look like?
Then, you're not excluded. You have seasons too.
Oh, I do?
Except yours operate on a different timeline.
Oh.
Instead of 28 days like they do for us women menstruators, yours work on the 24-hour clock.
Oh.
And it goes something like this.
Oh, okay. I'm going to circle mind reading assumes motives. I'm about to be told how my internal seasons operate. Oh, boy. My 24-hour seasonal cycle. What shall we call that? Well, let's see. Unfortunately, they already called theirs menstruation, so men is already a part of it. I don't know. Ballstration.
Your winter happens while you sleep.
Oh.
About 6 o'clock in the morning, you wake up with a full hormonal potion.
6 o'clock? What are you talking about? I'm up at 4 a.m. for my job, lady.
Ready to go for the day ahead.
I am. I don't want to get out of bed. This morning I was so comfy and warm. It was so cold out, and I was just like a little warm burrito under my blankets, and I was so comfy. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to school, but I had to get up and I dragged myself out of bed. Did I have my potion? I was all ready to go. I mean, I must have a terrible seasonal cycle.
The laser focus is yours to be had.
Yes.
In the afternoon, you enter your inner summer. This is great time to pitch ideas.
Yeah.
Go for happy hours.
In the afternoon, go for happy hours? Okay, so pitch great ideas and drink. Well, okay.
And in the evening, as your hormones wane, all you're interested in is chilling on a couch, watching Netflix, maybe reading something inspirational to quiet down the mind.
Okay. Did we miss a season in there somewhere?
That's it. 24 hours, 365 days. Lather, rinse, repeat.
If you say so.
Women's body is not static.
Go on.
Nor does it follow a linear energy path.
Oh.
Our energy bank is not synced to happy hours.
Oh.
And we do not cocoon when we sleep. Our cocooning happens during our winter, which is our period.
What? Okay. Word salad. Word salad. If I could circle it more than once, and I might just do so. Also, collectivize his own demographic. I'm going to give a 2 for on that one because that and you know what? I will take the seasonal cycle as a list. Boy, oh boy, three squares in one go there. All right, so far I have circled on the board word salad, collectivize his own demographic, a list, free space, mind reading assumes motives, and childhood or family anecdote. Let's keep going.
And we have never asked, does this 24-hour clock works for us? We have been fitting to this 24-hour schedules, not entirely sure whether it makes sense for our bodies.
Not entirely sure if it makes sense for our bodies. Okay, well, if you want to operate on a 28-day day and not sleep, or how would that work? If you extended the regular 24-hour cycle, so that means that 8 days out of the month, more or less, you would be asleep. Like you'd be sleeping 4 days at the front of the month and 4 days at the back of the month, and then you have to stay awake the rest of the 20 some odd days in between. What?
And statistics show that it affects our health, well-being, and our performance.
What do you suggest? What?
Because women are 50% more likely to experience burnout.
Burnout from what? Just being alive?
75% of people with autoimmune disease are women.
Okay.
85% of women, yes, most of you in this audience, experience some sort of hormonal imbalances. Ranging from migraines, hormonal acne, periods, pain, cramping. And even an innocent sort of symptom that's been normalized as hormonal acne has a cost.
I'm still waiting for how this is a superpower. This all sounds terrible. I feel really sorry for women all of a sudden.
I used to work with a woman who shared with me that she did not go to a job interview because she did not feel confident because of her acne.
I don't know if you're aware of this, speaker, but acne makes everyone feel less confident. I don't know if you've known any boys in school with acne, any self-esteem issues. Yeah, acne is kind of a universal self-esteem, let's just say, demotivator at best, killer at worst.
And I'm sure she's not alone.
You're not alone.
The standard advice would have been, she should have pushed through. Gone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And women are no strangers to pushing through discomfort.
In that respect, women are not special. So twice now in the same section here, acne and pushing through discomfort are not gender-specific experiences.
This is a perfect example. This is Kiran Gandhi, who is a musician. She ran a London marathon on her period without a pad or a tampon.
Why?
You know what we really need is to create a menstrual cycle awareness.
Okay, you know what? I might be jumping the gun slightly here, but I'm circling argumentative non sequitur. And I'm also going to be circling weightless example for those statistics she put up that have nothing to do with anything. Also the acne. So now on the board, weightless example, word salad, collectivize his own demographic, a list, free space, mind reading assumes motives, argumentative non sequitur, and childhood or family anecdote. What are we doing? Why are we here? That's what I'm wondering right now. Thank you, Angelverse, for the happy, dancy, smiley, lovely dog cat fox. Oh, dog cat fox. Speaking of which, since I have a guest in the chat, how about this one?
Wowie fucking wow.
There we go. A Satsu dog cat fox. Thank you, Angelverse, very much. Appreciate it. All right, where are we going from here?
In the workplace, if we truly want to achieve gender diverse and inclusive environments.
Oh, diversity and inclusion. Circling that one on the board. Oh boy, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Oh man.
And yes, it will help women, but also everyone else. Because according to the McKinsey research.
Oh, McKinsey. Oh, I love McKinsey. You guys bring up McKinsey all the time. Boy, oh boy, McKinsey. Most reliable source for self-confirming statistics.
Teams that are the most gender diverse are 48% more likely to outperform other teams.
48% more. Wow. Did you ever read that report? You ever dig into that? You ever find those little spots buried deep in those reports where they say there's no correlative information to actually suggest that? Or sorry, no causation, I should say. There was what was it? There was a report. It was something like it was buried on like page 17 or something. It was like there's no causal link between the mixture of teams and da 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 da. Like they don't want to. They show all these statistics. Are like, oh yeah, look, we have a diverse team, and look at the innovation, look at the output, look at this, that, and the other. And then way buried down it says we can find no causal link between these things. Oh, okay. It just looks pretty.
And the most inclusive teams are typically the ones that are most successful and happier at work.
Yes, so you say.
So understanding a female body is everyone's business.
Oh, man. I love understanding a female body. Not as a matter of business, though. That's a whole other line of work.
Menstruators, are you ready to learn your superpowers?
I am dying to know. Okay, menstruators, are you ready to learn your superpowers? I am. This is why we're here, guys. All right, Superpowers Month. Let's go.
Yay!
Yay!
Nan, what about you?
Oh, I am dying to know what makes women even more special than they already are. And I do think women are special. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be here without one. I actually talked to my mother just yesterday. I said, happy birthday.
Let's get going. This is your menstrual phase, your inner winter.
Okay.
Winter is time for renewal, rebirth, shedding of the old layers. The superpower of the season is restoration.
The superpower of the season is restoration. Okay, so let me get this straight. So during your inner winter, you shed your skin like a snake. Is that it?
Winter gives you opportunity to let go.
I thought winter kind of like kills off plant life and makes everything very uninhabitable for several months.
It is only through rest that we're able to switch off the noise from the outside and tune in to what's truly important to us.
Oh, so like you're hibernating like a bear. Like a cocaine bear? Maybe not like a cocaine bear.
I tend to block a few days on my calendar for the arrival of my period. And I have observed that I've become more focused, more lively, more determined, and just more fun to be around.
Says you. Here's a question I have in that vein. Are you sure that frame of mind or whatever isn't slightly psychosomatic? You might like a self-imposed placebo effect or something. Maybe. Does that happen to women at large, or is this just you?
And if you don't restore your energy, you'll be just like a fruit tree, robbed of a full winter, producing fewer and weaker buds.
What?
Support yourself throughout this time with foods that are rich in iron and minerals.
Iron? I love iron. You know who my favorite Avenger is? Captain America. But after that, maybe Iron Man.
That you lose through bleeding. Personally, I crave steak during this time, which actually highlights my body's wisdom. My body says, Tanara, you bleeding. Oh my gosh, you're losing iron. Quick, grab a hunk of meat.
Yeah, that's what she said. Actually, that is what she said.
And then I do that.
Grab that hunk of meat. That tasty shack meat.
And support yourself with activities that are slightly more gentle in nature, walking and stretching, to support your restoration season.
Okay.
And just like the nature wakes up, so do you.
What?
Welcome to spring. This is known as the follicular phase.
Follicular? Follicular. My friend follicular.
This is the time after period. You might find an immediate shift in your energy and enthusiasm for life.
You might? What if you don't? What if you think your appendix is about to burst?
The superpower of this season is initiation.
Initiation. Okay.
You might notice an immediate floodgate of ideas and inspirations everywhere. I get mine on the run, in the middle of my walk, in the middle of the shower. I even have a brainstorming folder dedicated to this whisper respirations on my phone.
So thinking is a superpower. Okay, so your period enhances your imagination. Is that it?
And in fact, in preparation for this TEDx talk, I scheduled my brainstorming specifically for this time.
So you are wearing those red pants for a reason?
So I can let my ideas run wild.
Yeah, no, running wild is definitely part of this talk so far.
And then I sort them out in the rest of the season.
Okay.
Light, vibrant, fresh fruits and vegetables, like sautéed, lighter grains, will give you just enough energy to get you through the day.
So wait. Steak and now veg. Wait, are you saying that the superpower that arises from your menstrual cycle is cooking? Your menstrual cycle puts you more at home in the kitchen? Okay.
And given that you've been gifted with this extra spring in your step, focus on endurance activities. Things that you have energy for. Running, biking, walking. You can go for hours and it will feel amazing.
Not everybody can go for hours, but okay. Why? Just during the menstrual cycle? I mean, it happens every 28 days, right? So you're just giving like a general life coach kind of thing, like get outside, exercise, eat well. Where's the superpower?
And just like that, from the warmth of spring, we come into summer. This is ovulatory phase.
Right.
The superpower of this phase is confidence. This particular time for women coincides with our fertility window. And given that our God-given purpose on this earth was to reproduce, we are gifted with the gift of confidence to go out and look for a potential mate.
Oh, is that what happens? Ladies, do you feel particularly confident at that point of time of your menstrual cycle when you're ovulating? I don't know. When you're ovulating, it's like, now's the time to go out on a date. Is that how that works? And I'm being a little facetious, but I'm not being completely facetious because I don't know. I don't know what happens to the female mentality, attitude, emotional state at each stage of this thing. It might be different for everybody if you can believe it. But is that right? Like ovulation? Now it's time to mate. Must fulfill my God-given purpose. Where's a man? Is that what happens? If that literally happens just the way that I described it, I would love to hear from you, because I was just sort of making growly noises, but you know.
I noticed that I instinctively put out a red lipstick or wear slightly more revealing clothing.
Oh, well then. Hey men, I am ready to breed.
Because Because I want to be noticed. Actually, I think it's my biology wants me to get noticed.
Yeah.
And in Chinese medicine, this particular time is known as our hot season.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So to counterbalance that, you want to be focused on cooling foods.
Wait. What? Why would you want to counter that? Why would you want to counter your hot season where you're really strutting your stuff and letting everybody know you're ready to start pumping out those babies? Really? You want to counter that? Okay.
Things like berries, salads, and smoothies.
Smoothies, just any kind of smoothie? So like a chocolate milkshake? I suppose that would be okay too.
And this is the only time for women where our levels of our testosterone surge.
Wait, sorry. Say that again.
Time for women where our levels of our testosterone surge.
Testosterone? Okay. I don't know what our speaker's, linguistic origins are. Her accent in places just threw me for a second. I was like, what? Okay, testosterone, yes.
Those testosterone hormone that we associate with the hunky men?
Yeah, you would associate that with hunky men because they have testes and produce testosterone naturally, yeah.
We produce it too.
Yeah.
And it's very important to us.
Not to the same degree as men, but okay, it is important to you? All right.
So if the muscle definition is your goal, then hit up the gym. Or better yet, go to a group class and introduce yourself to a stranger.
Hello, stranger. I'm ovulating. How are you?
Menstruators also notice that they become much better communicators during this time.
Oh, is that true? For those in the audience who are menstruators, because we can't refer to you as women or anything apparently, around this time of ovulation, are you suddenly better communicators? Do you gain that Ronald Reagan mystique? I don't know.
They become much confident at expressing themselves.
Oh.
So that offer you wanted to pitch,
mm-hmm.
that raise you wanted to ask for,
yeah,
that hot date you've been postponing, it's go time, baby.
Okay. So, ladies, ovulation is the best time of the month, I'm told. Is she waiting for the audience to laugh or clap or something?
And just like that, from the full sunshine of summer, we move into the competence of fall.
The competence?
This is the luteal phase.
Luteal.
Fall used to be a very challenging time for me before I realized what menstrual cycle does and how it works within my body.
Oh, so you overcame the issues by thinking differently about it? So it's not really inherent then.
I wanted to keep going. My body wanted me to slow down. And I continuously pushed against it. And that left me with premenstrual syndromes. Premenstrual syndrome are varied from all sorts of things: mood swings, brain fog, migraines, cramps. And PMS today has become so common that now we make jokes about it and we've abbreviated to all sorts of things.
Yeah, okay, now we're into PMS. Okay, because then the whole thing starts over again. Yeah, right. Okay, we make jokes about it. Well, what else are you gonna do? How seriously should we take it?
Like perpetual munching spree.
Well, I have heard that some women do get the cravings for munchies, etc. at that time. Okay.
Pissy mood syndrome.
PC mood syndrome? Or pissy? Oh, sorry, pissy. I thought she was talking about like political correctness mood syndrome. It's just the accent again. Okay, yeah.
Well, the one that used to describe me best?
Yeah.
Please meet Satan.
Please meet Satan. I like that one. Please meet Satan.
The superpower of this phase is focus.
Oh.
Typically, women begin to notice things that they wouldn't have noticed before. So I usually schedule a lot of my admin, spreadsheet, or paperwork stuff that I can't sit or deal with during any other time. And I actually weirdly enjoy it.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't have the liberty of scheduling when I do particular parts of my workday around my menstrual cycle. Given that I don't have one, I kind of have to do them when they need to be done. But okay, you apparently have that freedom. Congratulations, I guess.
Another thing that I tend to notice is actually dust in my house. I become hyper-focused and hyper-vigilant to any mess. And this is the only time when I enjoy deep clean. Pay attention to yourself when you're in the fall.
Okay, so the fall is your OCD phase then, as well as PMS?
I promise you it will come through.
You promise? Is that a guarantee? Okay.
Women's metabolism during this time speeds up.
Okay.
You need more food.
Yes.
This would explain your all too familiar cravings.
Okay, so there actually is an explanation biologically for the munchie syndrome. Okay.
So to offset your cravings for cake just before your period, focus on foods that are more fall in nature, denser, stews, root vegetables. And given that the fall invites us to slow down, focus on things that are more resistance, slower, yoga.
Okay, so basically this whole presentation is both a menstrual cookbook or recipe book and also an exercise regimen. But the menstrual cycle itself gives you superpowers. Now, this is just an all-in-one kind of thing, isn't it?
Winter is for restoration. Spring, initiation. Show your confidence in the summer. And focus on things in the fall.
So, eat, pray, love.
Your menstrual cycle is predictable. It's cyclical and it's monthly. Why not plan for it if it means less emotional and physical discomfort?
Okay. And again, this is just anecdotal on my part. When I think about the times where I've had a woman in my life either talk to me about or mention their period or whatever, they already have a plan. They already know when it's coming, what they have to deal with, and so on, and they just kind of adapt to it. I mean, I've known a couple of witches, like actual practicing witches in my life, who performed or had some kind of like personal ritual, like actual ritual that they would perform because they believed in the first part of our speaker's talk where she's talking about the whole magical part of it. But outside of that, I think most women, unless there's something about their bodily makeup that sets their period in different times of the month or can different things happen, they have a plan. They have a routine. They may not have your routine, but okay.
Why not have menstruators take time off during the time where they need it most?
Why don't you just say women? Why are you saying menstruators? Unless we've hit menopause, right? I mean, I guess that might be the dividing line, right? Either preteen girls or post menopausal women or something. Is that why you say menstruators? I guess in that instance, technically, that would be more accurate, I guess.
On their period. Period leave is not a new concept. It's been introduced for years in countries like Japan and South Korea. And many companies across Australia, Argentina, and France are introducing it. In conclusion of this talk, I'd like you to take away 3 messages.
Oh, well, if I didn't already circle a list, now we have an official list.
Can you do that?
Can I take away 3 messages? I don't know. How effective is your sales pitch? Not sales pitch literally, but you know what I mean? Or how effective is your rhetoric in putting these 3 ideas in my head?
Number 1. Let's take away stigma and shame, taboo around period.
Well, again, just speaking personally, I don't hold any particular taboo or stigma around it. I just sort of accept whatever the individual I'm talking to, who happens to bring it up, is telling me about it. Usually it's stay away from me. I feel yucky. Oh, it's okay.
It's a very natural process. The
Yes.
more we know about our bodies, the better transparent we can be with others and our children.
Okay.
Second message is, your menstrual cycle is so much more than just your period.
Yes, you told us that. Yeah. So?
As you've seen, it's a symphony orchestra of all sorts of things.
A symphony orchestra. Okay.
So use it so you can show up better and more confidently in the world.
But what if I need to take a day off? You just said period leave is a thing that should be all over the place. Obviously, there are instances where I can't show up or don't feel like showing up, and is that not okay too?
And the third message is cyclical awareness must be introduced in workplace if we want to achieve diverse, inclusive environments and address burnout.
Well, depending on the business you're working for, you may have sick time that you build up, or you may have personal days, and you can apply them as you need to. Or if something really goofy is going on, you can talk to your manager and see if you can work something out. I think that's what that's there for. But anyway.
So I really hope that we can stop dreading our periods and move into a place where we can embrace and even celebrate it.
Well, if someone is suffering from what you described as a monthly possibility of earth-shattering, is my appendix bursting pain, and you can't avoid it, you have to sort of grin and bear it and take some painkillers. I wouldn't, shame someone over them dreading their period if they can't avoid that kind of consequence, but okay.
Are you ready to turn an old enemy into a new ally? Thank you.
Whoa, okay. Well, there you go. That's period as superpower. It's split up into 4 stages, each with some kind of abstract superpower that it grants you. She's telling us for sure, for actual. I don't know how accurate that is. Like I say, I'll be curious to hear from the menstruators in the audience as to what you guys think about that. But ahead of that, let's go to the bingo card and see what we end up with. Oh, I think I zoomed in a bit too much there. Let's back off a step. There we go. That works. All right. So the bingo card, as I have it, there and that's where we're at right now. I'll go over the bingo card one more time by myself, see if anything pops up. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, hold on to them for the moment, and I'll get to you momentarily. Anecdote that probably never happened. The only anecdote I remember is her having the cramping so bad she thought she was having an appendix issue. I don't have any reason to think that was made up, or too perfect a situation. I'm trying to think if there are any other anecdotes. Everything else was just sort of very abstract and ethereal, so I don't think so. Self-vilification or wretchedness? No. Not in the sense that she is the problem. She was definitely playing up her own personal experiences and so on. Systemic institutional. Well, I mean, period menstrual cycle is an institution after a fashion, and there is a system taking place when that happens. She talked about, cycle systems. I'm stretching a little bit, but I don't think too far. Leaves out vital context. Boy, oh boy. Like the fact that different people experience their menstrual cycles differently. You can't put it all in a one-size-fits-all kind of box. Right? Doesn't that... I mean, am I far off the mark there? I don't think so. But that's just me. What do I know? So circle and leaves out vital context. White supremacy. Strangely enough, she didn't bring up race. Oh, well. Privilege. I don't know. Like men have their 24-hour cycle. Was that a privilege? It sounded like she was saying, oh, men just get up and they'd have no problems, like they're ready to go for their happy hours and things. I'm going to take that as a biological privilege, at least in spirit, if not in specific. of the word mentioned. Sales pitch for product or service. I was really expecting her to say, I've written a book on how to cook for your period or something. I was really expecting that. But there was no product or service being sold here, at least not explicitly. Plays victim. Now, see, I was slightly dreading coming to this one because it's like, okay, is she playing a victim when she has to deal with something in her own way that every, menstruator woman has to deal with? Is that playing the victim? I don't know. I think I might need some input on that one. So you guys tell me if you have an instance or an argument for her playing the victim, because was she playing? I mean, you have to go through this as a woman unless you've got some, medical situation otherwise. So attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. I'm going to go over these, the seasons. I'd never heard that before. If that's not a new thing, in that sense, by all means, correct me. But just the overall of the 4 seasons of the menstrual cycle and all of the superpowers and such collectively, as far as I'm concerned, create a new buzz phrase or buzzword. Wage gap. She talked about asking for a raise during your ovulation period. But other than that, she didn't really dwell on economics so much that I recall. She talked about work and everything, but she didn't talk about like people being paid more or less than the others. Patriarchy. I'm actually kind of surprised. She didn't dwell too much on the overriding presence of men in people's lives. Feminism. I mean, the closest I could come up with is the period leave. For more equity, diversity, etc. So I don't think that's too far afield. And strangely, as a consequence of period leave, more or less.
Bingo. What? Of course!
We have our first bingo down the diagonal. Let's continue. Let's see. Marginalized or marginalization? Yes, in the sense that she was talking about the discussions about periods or people experiencing periods and so on were shunned or thought of as dirty and so on and so forth, or just, simply discussing it. So in that sense, yes, the subject itself, and depending on the circumstances, the person experiencing it, contradicts own point or argument. Well, I'm inclined to say, and I might need some backup on this, I'm inclined to say that when she talks about how your period is your superpower and it gives you all these abilities to do this, that, and the other and push through this, that, and then she talks about the necessity for period leave. It's like, well, if it's not debilitating in some instances, if it's all good, why would you need period leave? Is that too thin an argument? That's my first idea. If you have a better one or want to back me up on that, let me know. Benevolent condescension. Okay. Was she being... Okay, obviously she was trying to give a pep talk, more or less, to women regarding their periods. And obviously she was trying to be benevolent in that pep talk and framing it as a good thing or something that can empower you. But... was she being condescending? That's the part where I'm not sure it clicks. Because for everything else that she was doing in this talk, I didn't get the sense that she wasn't being sincere. Okay, so that's why I'm hesitant to circle that one. So if you have an argument for that one, and I know it's a bingo, it's going to be high bar to jump. But if you have an argument for benevolent condescension, by all means, give it to me here in a second. And lastly, microaggressions, unconscious bias. The unconscious bias about, the stigma around periods and microaggressions. She was sort of intimating a little bit with the nicknames PMS was given and so on. So I'm going to circle that one. Okay. So that is the card as I have it. We have one bingo so far, the potential for others. If you have an argument for a square to be circled, put it in the chat now. Be sure to tag me in your comment. It'll be easier for me to see. I'll scroll up a bit and see if I can get anything anybody else has put up. Script Doctor does redefining a current word count because he is definitely using superpower wrong. Does redefining what? She is definitely using superpower wrong. Okay. Just wait. Script Doctor here? Did I miss Script Doctor? Is he here somewhere? I need context. I need context. Give me context. Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost. There was a scribe-lite who played a game and TEDx Bingo was the name-o. B-I-N-G-O, and TEDx Bingo was the name-o. Indeed. Indeed. I don't know if that song's copyrighted, so I'm not going to sing it. There you go. Advocast Dabley. She was being condescending. Can we do it? Yes, we can. That seemed more rhetorical than it was. I don't know. Expand on that a little bit. Expand on that. Derek Lure, periods are natural. She should have just said that. Well, I would have appreciated at least if she allowed for the possibility that different people experience them in different ways instead of going off on like, this is how it is. Like I have known women, and it's entirely possible they've been lying to me for some reason. I have known women in my life who have said that their periods are a nothing burger. Like they have a couple of days where they bleed and maybe they feel a little, tired, but otherwise they don't even notice it. And I've had women talk about their periods like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I have to mark off like 3 days out of the month to get ready for this, different people have different experiences with it. Again, aside from the mechanisms of it, the actual symptoms and consequences vary widely, as far as I know, as far as I've been told. Advocast Diablo again, scribe-lite. Her tone was definitely condescending. The whole, can we do it? Yes, we can. Just the way she spoke was like she was speaking to children, assuming we were idiots and telling us basic info. Okay, and Jamie Melquist, I found it condescending calling women menstruators. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I will take a an affirming voice as well, especially from Jamie Melquist, who even though I'd seen this talk on the list previously, it was Jamie who reminded me of it a week ago or so ago and said, yeah, what about this one? Like, oh, yeah, I remember seeing that one. But either way, however we swing it, this is what we got.
Ooh, that's a bingo. Right? Yeah!
All right, second bingo. Will there be more? Let's find out. Jamie again, what about self-vilification by calling herself the she-demon? What was it? Something Satan? Yeah. See, I don't really see that as self-vilification. Usually when it comes to self-vilification, it's something like they're bringing up a problem about society and how their very existence contributes to it. Like, I am contributing to white supremacy by simply existing, that kind of thing. She was making a joke. I don't really see that. I'm being a little stingy here because I got to be stingy on some things, but I understand. Assassin the Great Scribe-lite, this is the first TED Talker that did not infuriate me. She was least willing, telling women to stop whining about their cycles. Oh, okay. Well, that's one way to look at it, I suppose. Johnny Hellcat, not sure about benevolent, but you can do that is certainly condescending. Yeah, I think we've covered that. I'll agree. She, and especially in places where she's like, "Hey, women, you should schedule for your cycle." Like, what woman doesn't? What woman that doesn't experience it in such a way that it requires something to be aware of doesn't already plan out, right? Yeah. Random American Scribe-lite, I meant that in relation to coining a new term. Does redefining superpower count? Oh, no. I don't think so. But either way, we got new buzzword, buzz phrase either way, because she framed it in such a way that it was new to me. Dr. Fung saying, periods are all different. You have the dots, you have the black circles, but they all come out. And I was reading that like it was a serious thing for a second. Just for a second. Assassin the Gray, women today largely act like children, and since she was talking to them, oh, now you just opened up a can of worms there. There's some ladies in the chat, and I'd be happy with that one. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Kieverdan, that's what it was. Please meet Satan. Right. Please meet Satan. Okay, well, suddenly, StreamYard is telling me I have no viewers watching, and chat has stopped. Did my stream get spiked again, and I just don't know it? If you guys are still live in chat, let me know, because StreamYard said nobody's watching right now. Or maybe everybody just abandoned me. I could see that. Okay, now chat is moving a little bit. See, I've got two windows open. I got the chat as it's connected to StreamYard, and I have the window from the actual YouTube broadcast on a separate window. And so I see it moving. Okay, now things are moving again, but StreamYard's telling me I have 0 viewers. So I don't know what's going on. I see people talking to me, and nobody's saying that the stream has died, so I assume then we're still live. Okay. Resolute Dream, StreamYard does that all the time. I can't say that I've seen it very often. So maybe I'm just lucky that way. Any other arguments for squares to be circled, guys? We got 2 bingos out of it, which is not too bad. Not too bad for the end of Superpowers month. I have decided not to do a theme month next month, because doing Superpowers month, I'm reaching back towards talks from several months ago to even in a couple instances a couple of years ago. And in the meantime, a whole new crop of TEDx glory has been posted in the meantime. A whole month's worth that I have to go through, that I have to select from. And there's a lot in there that I want to take a look at. So next month will be a regular month, not Superpowers month. I may do a theme month again in the future if I can find a common thread amongst TEDx talks that I could weave together a theme month. But this was just an experiment to see how it worked out. It also gave me an opportunity to make some creative thumbnails, which is always fun. Swirl Blue, are you calling us all zeros? No, I'd never call you that. You're at least 0.5%, depending on what time period we're in and what the Constitution says, something like that. Let's see. I think I'm going to call it there, guys. So there's the bingo card. 2 bingos. Not too bad. Not too bad. Interesting talk. Not, as was mentioned, not the most infuriating talk, I suppose. Little silly, little personalized, relatively inoffensive, I suppose. She didn't go too far afield. Whether or not it applies to you being a menstruator, you'll have to let me know in the comments. A couple of programming notes. The Sunday stream will be on this Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, where I'll talk about a thing. I'm not sure yet. I changed it up last week by talking about a bit of an abstract, and that is world building in fiction and examples thereof. And this week, don't know. But I do know that later on Sunday, Sister Scribe is taking me to see Cocaine Bear. Oh boy, she called me up today. She was like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And she's like, you want to go see Cocaine Bear on Sunday? Like, yeah, I do. So we're going to go see Cocaine Bear. I may or may not do a review of it afterwards. We'll see what happens with that. Also, and this is a bit far out, but set your calendars, so to speak. March 11th, Saturday, March 11th, currently scheduled at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, will be the 3rd installment of Living on Borrowed Crime, where I speak to true crime content creators. Currently scheduled to appear, and obviously things may change, but this is what it is right now. Currently scheduled to appear, Stay Awake. If you don't know about Stay Awake, just put in Stay Awake, all one word, into YouTube, and you will find his true crime channel. And Dave's Lemonade coming in as well to be part of a potentially 3-person panel. Now, the 3rd person, I'm still trying to lock down scheduling-wise, but it may be a 2-person panel, maybe a 3. Either way, that's the plan. So look out for that. March 11th, as soon as I have things more scheduled out and people confirmed, I will put up a link to that. Also, if you didn't know, I have a Discord now for reasons that I still don't quite understand, but hey, why not? And so right now, I'm going to put up a link that'll be good for 1 day. If you would like to come join the Discord for the Scribe Light channel. And in order to be affirmed as a new member of the Discord channel, there's a secret word you have to put out there. And so the secret word you'll have to put into the server when you get there is restoration. Yes, restoration. If you're not already a member of the Discord server, let's go over there. And if you go on there, if your nickname is automatically recognized by myself or one of the other moderators, you're probably going to be in either way. But on the off chance that you use a different nickname on Discord or something else, you'll let all of us know you were watching the show by going there and saying restoration. So with that, everybody, I'm going to call it here. Moderators, first and foremost, thank you so much for keeping an eye on things. Even though everyone here is so well behaved, you have very, very little to do. Everybody who donated, either to myself or to the fundraisers pinned to the top of the chat box, thank you guys so much for your generosity. It's really appreciated. Also, a couple of shout outs. First and foremost, Satsu 2 cents or Fam 2 cents on Twitter. Be sure to check out Satsu's Twitter account. Check out his website. Did he post his website? If he didn't post his website, I'll try to put it in the description after this for his business. What else? Oh, shout out to Script Doctor. He shouted me out on his stream today and as well a couple days ago, and I forgot to do so live, so I'm doing that now. Script Doctor, Dave's Lemonade, stay awake. Check those channels out if you haven't already. And with that, everybody, thank you so much for coming. I hope you all had a good time. If you did, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. And if you're listening in the future and you have something to say otherwise, leave a comment. I appreciate that too. I hope you all have a good rest of your Thursday. I hope you have a good rest of your week oncoming and that your weekend ahead is full of cocaine bears and sunshine and restoration and ovulation, if that's your thing. And I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.